What's up, guys? I'm Ryan from Iron Oath Fitness, and today we're learning about vocabulary.
That's literally my line.
I did it better.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So what she said, I do have a guest today with me, and this is
Lauren.
And today, we're gonna learn about some general gym vocabulary. We're gonna have some funny ones. We're gonna have some very necessary ones that you need to understand. And I'm gonna have basically Vanna White here. She's gonna do a little presentation. We're gonna talk about it. Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are they ready? I think they're ready. All right. So let's do it.
The first one. Split.
Split. So
what is a split, Ryan?
Basically, split 101 is how many times a week are you going to the gym, and then also what your split looks like in terms of, all right, I do legs on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I do like chest and back Tuesday, triceps, biceps, shoulders Thursday, and then like my rest days. So it's however you're splitting up your work, basically.
Okay, technical failure versus absolute failure.
Okay, so this one is really good because it's very important to understand the differences. Basically, technical failure would be like on a squat, deadlift, or bench is what I'm thinking of mainly, is your technique completely folds. So like you see those, right, YouTube or like Instagram videos of people deadlifting, then all of a sudden their back's completely arching and that's technical failure because your technique is no longer what it needs to be.
Yeah, it's when your technique goes.
Your technique's gone.
Yeah.
Which in that sense, it's fine to do on like a bicep curl on a machine, right? Like if you are doing your last rep and then you kind of throw like a little back into it, who cares? Like that's not gonna really injure you.
Yeah, it's not gonna hurt you.
Right. And so then absolute failure is literally when you cannot lift the weight anymore. Like if you see those memes or whatever, when people like collapse, they hit technical failure and then they hit absolute failure because they can't even lift anymore. So
I think it's funny when, not funny, it's sad.
It's kind of
when
funny.
Like people banana back it.
Oh gosh.
Going like doing a deadlift.
Yeah.
And I just feel
banana
for them.
back. Should we have added that one?
But I'm adding that
I've never
right
heard
now.
that.
Banana backing it.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I like those.
Thanks for teaching us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hey, you're teaching too. Time out, please, for a second. So, if you guys are liking this type of video and you like Lauren involved, then be sure to leave a like. You should subscribe.
Are you gonna have me back on?
So that's what we're gonna ask right now. If you don't like this type of video with her involved, I mean, it's just pretty. We could just kind of do one of those. We'll get her out of it. This is a one and done. I told her. One opportunity, one shot, one opportunity. Don't miss your chance.
Okay.
That's the kind of vibe here.
This is like the Eminem. You only get one shot.
Exactly. I don't know what that was, but here we are. Wow. All right, back to the regularly scheduled programming.
Okay, this one is only for guys, really.
Apparently.
Women don't do this.
No.
We smile.
Okay.
All right, the gym friend head nod.
So, this has been a thing that's gone on for years, right? And I didn't know there was apparently biological importance to this until recently.
We learned about this in a podcast.
But anyone out there, if you're a guy, when you're walking through the gym, you might know somebody who's like your gym acquaintance, right? You don't know them by their first name, but you see them there. Or even just sometimes you give that guy respect. You always go like this. You don't do this. And apparently it's because by exposing
your jugular.
Yeah. If you do this, it's only to people who you trust because you're exposing your jugular vein, which is like them going to kill you if you don't trust them. So it's like
you're being more vulnerable when you're exposing like your neck.
Yeah. It's an unconscious thing of head nodding down, and it's a sign of respect but not trust. So think about that next time you walk around the gym and you're just doing that. You're like, oh, I don't trust that guy. It's it's an unconscious way of like feeling it out.
Yeah,
your
for
genetics.
women it is smiling, and then from smiling it moves to like, oh hey girl, and then from hey girl it moves to like, oh what are you working out today?
Oh, that's the progression.
Yes, and then maybe it's like, do you want to hit abs together after?
Wow.
That's the progression of a gym friend. For girls, that's the equivalent.
I can see. I think for guys, it's more like that to this. Maybe a nux, every And then if you're like close, you're like, bro, like your chest is looking blasted. Like there's like
you give a compliment
yeah, like,
that
dude,
pump looks nice.
Yeah, like nice traps, bro. I can tell you've been doing it. You know, some shrugs.
Some shrugs.
Some shrugs. It's got to be like you can't just be like nice biceps. It's
I hate when they shrug right in front of the dumbbell.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Take them back. That's
you rude.
Don't need to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, get that one out of here. Oh, this one's nice too.
Okay, do I know what this means? I'm gonna go with no.
Well, that's why we're here. That's why we're here. Doing the definitions.
But I know the prefixes and what they mean. Okay, unilateral versus bilateral.
So unilateral would just be any movement that you're doing like one at a time. So like a one arm bicep
Uni
curl.
means one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or like I always think about like legs. So like if you're doing step up, right? That's a unilateral movement because you're normally stepping up on one leg at a time, or like a reverse lunge, even though technically people say that's full body, but we're not going to get into semantics.
Like unilateral stuff.
It's very important.
You feel the burn. I am sore after, because I'll go on the Smith machine and
like the elevated split squat.
Yeah. You can just focus more on one leg.
Yes, because what you can do when you're not doing unilateral is like, so like the chest press or like the bench press, right? Or leg press, you can hide deficiencies. Like one leg or arm is always gonna be weaker. So when you don't do unilateral, you're always
have a favorite.
Yeah, you're always hiding something. So bilateral is exactly the opposite. It's just when whatever movement you do, it's when you're doing both that. So bench press, shoulder press, leg press, squat, anything like that, deadlift.
So do you recommend doing unilateral movements?
Yes.
Okay. Why?
Just because of the deficiencies.
Oh, because of the deficiencies.
Yeah. I don't think you need to do them too much, but like, yes, having them in your program. And specifically, I've always found it better for like legs because it's a lot easier to hide a deficiency with your legs because they're just way stronger. Okay, let's do the next one. The
next one, I did not know what this meant until we started recording this video. So, SHHHHMEDIUM.
Okay, so SHHHHMEDIUM. Obviously, you see I changed shirts. And it's basically, this is how I describe it. You have all these shirts when you start lifting, right? And then you start lifting and you gain mass. Specifically like guys like in our arms or in chest. And then all of a sudden the shirt that fit you perfectly is now more like a small medium, right? So it's a SHHHMEDIUM. And you can see this is just like super weird and tight, like across my chest and constrict, and it's like super high in my arms. So it used to be a medium.
It looks like your armpits are uncomfy.
Yeah, it's chafing. Yeah, so it's whenever your medium becomes more like a small, and it's not a
That's
good
like
thing.
my leggings right now.
Yeah.
My leggings don't fit because I'm 1 week out from prep. So.
1 week out from bodybuilding show, yes.
Oh, 1 week out from a bodybuilding show.
See, that's what happens when you don't get enough calories.
Stupid.
When you don't get enough calories, all right? Right here.
Right here. Okay. Myorep match sets.
Ooh,
Our
this is spicy stuff right here. So basically, there's a couple different variations of this. There's like Myoreps, and then there's Myorep match. And so for this specifically, Myorep match is, don't do this with like bench, squat, deadlift, anything like that. Any sort of compound movement, this would be a very bad idea. So I always think of like leg extensions. So you sit down, you put your weight that you do anywhere from 6 to 20 reps, okay? And so say I do 18. Cool deal. Then the next set, so take your normal rest time, minute to minute 30, maybe 2, depending on how heavy you go. The next set, so you could do this for 3 to 4 sets, you have to hit 18 reps again. And if you set the weight right, you won't be able to do 18 again. So you'll get to like 16. You take 3 to 5 second rest, don't move, stay in the machine, and then you bump out 2 more reps to get to 18. And then the next set.
So you get to 18 every set?
Every set. So that's the Myorep match. So your first set, and you need to put a lot of effort.
But you keep the weight the same.
Keep the weight the same.
Oh, I do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably do it and they just don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
And then I guess.
Because you have a set weight. You're like, I know I can do this weight, but like sometimes like if I'm doing 10 reps, I set it down at 8. I'm like, okay.
2 more.
And then, I do 2 more.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And I guess the reason why it's so effective is that instead of, so say you're doing 4 sets of leg extensions, you might approach failure 4 times in that, but if you do Myorep match sets, you might approach, because towards the end, if you're doing it right, you might get to like 13, and then you wait 3 seconds and you might do 14, 15, 3 seconds, 16, 17, 3 seconds, 18. So in that one set alone, you approach failure 4 different times. So if you did that times 4, that's 16 approaches to failure versus 4. So do not do this all the time. Also, that should be a caveat here. This is like, that'd just be a lot of overtraining, too much volume, too much approach to failure. But like towards the end of a program, perfect. Like I put these in most of the weeks where I'm like going into a deload or anything like that. I put some Myorep match sets and they burn and they work. So
you want it at the end of your cycle?
Yeah.
Kind of? Okay.
At the end of your program. Yep.
Program. Okay.
Okay, I want to throw one. All right, so that was what, 7 or 8 definitions, gym vocab 101. I actually wrote down a lot more than this. You were helping me with some of these as well. So I will be making more videos like this, probably like 4 or 5 more, because if I put too many of these.
There's so many definitions.
There is. And like a lot of them, hopefully you guys found practical. Obviously some I try to make funny, but still practical. Like these are real things. We're not just making up, right? So that's pretty much all we have.
Next one, let's go over the bodybuilding ones.
Oh, we can do that. Is there anything else you want to add?
Let's get yucky.
Okay, see, there we go. Next time, look to get yucky.
Yeah. Stay tuned and you can find out what that means.
Yes. There we go. All right, see you guys later.